And do you enjoy teaching English?
I love teaching English. I mean, I love back in Ireland. You would meet a lot of people from a lot of different countries, a lot of parts of the world, as well as Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, South America, even Africa. Here in Spain, I mean, I love the contact with the people.
Mm-hmm.
I love.
You have the interaction.
I love the interaction. Yeah, and I love the feeling that you're helping them, improve their lives in some way, because they're going to have to get jobs. They're going to need it for working. They're going to need it for travel. But also I find that you're not just teaching English. That say here in the academy we have primary school kids, which you and Viv teach. I don't teach
Mm-hmm.
the primary, but say from first of S, so I have the adolescents and I teach adults. I love the contact with the adolescents. I also think that makes you feel younger, and it's good to have that contact. But it's also good that I get to talk to them about other issues. Maybe there's things that they don't even talk with their parents about, or they don't talk with the teachers in the school about. They might be just talking with their friends about certain things. And here in the classroom, we create a very friendly atmosphere, very open atmosphere, very relaxed atmosphere, where the kids feel that they can talk about things.
Yeah.
So you get to talk to them about issues, like maybe they're having problems at school. I think one teacher's me tiene manía, so at least I get the opportunity of maybe giving an adult point of view, and asking the kids, well, put yourself in the teacher's in the teacher's shoes. Look at it from the teacher's perspective.
Yeah.
What do you think the teacher thinks? How is the teacher going to react? And also other things, like for example, when I worked as an actor, one of the theatre groups that I worked with was one that went into schools, and we had different productions dealing with bullying. Era cosa escolar. So we had one production for primary school kids, another for secondary school. So we'd go into schools, the kids would come into the theatre, the sala de actos, and they'd watch our show, which involved bullying, an incident of bullying. And then afterwards, the kids would go back into their classrooms, and we, the actors, would go in pairs into the classrooms to talk to the kids.
Yeah.
And I found that a very an eye-opening experience, because I can tell you that every school that we went into, every classroom that we went into, without fail, there was an incident of serious
bullying.
Of serious bullying going on. Now sometimes, the administration of the school, reluctantly they'd let you in because the Parents Association wanted you in, and they'd say, well, there's no bullying going on in this school, we don't allow it, but okay, you don't allow it, but what you do to prevent it, what you do to deal with it.
Yeah.
But every class I went into to speak with the kids, at least one kid started crying. And it was when that kid started crying and telling their story that suddenly you saw the reaction on all the other kids' faces, like, okay, we thought we were having a laugh, we thought this person was having a laugh, this is serious.
But it wasn't funny at all.
It wasn't funny. So I like, to bring up these topics with my adolescents, what goes on in your classroom? Are there any of these things going on in your classroom? Okay, put yourself in the shoes of the other person. How do they feel? How do you think they feel? And then I think you've also other problems with advertising, with the television, with movies, series. We see all these beautiful people on the television.
Yeah.
We have this image that we have to aspire to.
Yeah.
And this is very difficult for adolescents, very difficult time of their lives, and particularly girls, I think, suffer a lot from that, with maybe anorexia, bulimia, is that what it's called, and even the boys are starting with that as well, So, we talk about these sort of issues, the idea of image, what you're supposed to look like, and things like that. So I think it's very important that, I think I'm very lucky that I get that opportunity to speak with the kids and help them to say, okay, look, we're all different. Nobody's perfect. We all have our defects, and it's very important that we accept our own defects. because if you don't accept your own defects, no one else is going to
Exactly.
accept you.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you accept your own defects, then you can start to accept other people who are a little bit different, who have their own little peculiarities, their own little defects. So I think this is very important for, you know, for kids growing up, that, you know, I'm not just teaching the English here, but there, you know, we get to talk about things, and I get maybe an opportunity that not a lot of other adults in their lives get, to give sort of an adult perspective. Say, okay, think about this from
another
from
point
another
of view.
perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the adult classes. I mean, the adult classes are great, you know, because you get to, you have a much wider variety of conversations that you can have with adults. I mean, sometimes, you know, I mean, I love introducing different philosophical ideas, and then suddenly it'll take off, and maybe you just sit back and just watch the class take over.
Watch the interaction.
You know? Exactly, and you're just there saying, and maybe correcting the odd thing, or maybe the odd interjection to keep the conversation going. So I mean, I love the adult classes, and then they're the group classes, but then the one-to-ones, you know, I think also are fantastic, because quite often, you know, particularly with students who are coming for a long period of time, you're getting to know them very, very well. You know, they become like your friends.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe you don't see them so outside of the classroom, so the friendship doesn't extend outside the classroom, but when you're here in the classroom,
You get to know each other very well, don't you?
oh, absolutely, you know, I mean, say on my Fridays, you know, I've some students have been coming for years, you know, Anna and Harry, and, you know, we solve all the problems of the world, you know, and it's fantastic.
And you see the progress also, that, you know,
well, absolutely.
So much, you know.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's great when people are particularly coming back year after year, seeing the progress is wonderful. And when students come back to you and they say, look, you know, I passed my first certificate, I passed my advance, or I got my interview, you know, you feel, and they say, you know, thanks very much for all your help, you know.
Well, it's very satisfying, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, you know. But I mean, really, we're just the guide. I think, you know, the student is the one that does all the work, you know. But it's lovely when the students sort of respect your sort of knowledge, your capabilities to help them or to point them in the right direction, you know, and that when they come back and they say, you know, I've done it, and you know, you are part of that. So that's great.
Yeah.